Hey, Tony Gas is here. Hey, popping in now, going a little deeper on what I was talking about the other day when I was talking about toxic family. I want to speak specifically to one of the common themes that comes to me a lot, and that is, mama drama. And what I would call it too is like mommy wounds. And you'll hear me talking about you got to address your daddy wounds, you got to address your mommy wounds, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your granddaddy, the things you've gone through with those individuals. But in this, if I just call it mama drama, and when I say mama drama, I mean just going through things with a mama, your mama. And sometimes it could be baby mama, but we're not talking about baby mama on this video. But think about this now. I just cannot count how many times women have come to me and said, Tony, what if the toxic person is your mama? And then on the flip side, what if the toxic person is your mother-in-law, meaning his mama? And I hear that so much. I mean, so much. And just think about your own life now. Now, I've never once has it come to me. It may have come to you once in all of your experience and all the coaching that you do and all the clients that you deal with. It maybe have come to you, but it has not come to me where a woman said, my boyfriend or my husband, daddy, runs his life and is ruining our relationship. His daddy sticking his nose in everything, and he got to ask his daddy before he does anything. Now, I lean on my daddy. I talk to my daddy, and so my wife might be the one that might say that, but I make my own decisions. And so, but I don't really hear that. Now, yeah, I could have heard it one time, but I don't recall it. But what I hear all the time is women dealing with their mama or his mama. And so, first thing here is understanding. Seek to understand, then be understood. And what I want you to do, if you're dealing with mama drama, your mama, his mama, we'll start with your mama. What I want you to do is go to her and catch her on a good day. Because she ain't bad 365 days a year. Now, if she bad 365 days a year, then you're just going to have to ask her on a bad day. But go to her and just sit down and strike up a conversation with her and say, Mama, you never really told me like the real, like some real stuff from your life. Like, just, I want to be able to share a piece of you, piece of me with my daughter, with my son. So just take me through your life and seek to understand. Now, you seek to understand, but get your mama to tell you her life story. So you didn't go through anything like at 2 years, 3-year, 4-year-old, 5-year-old? You don't remember anything from then? So like nothing traumatic, nothing crazy happened? What about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? And well, I don't remember everything, and nor do I want to talk about everything. Well, just tell me what is that you don't want to talk about? I want to hear about it, because how you expect me to live and have the full knowledge of the world if I don't even know my own mama? And so you present it to her like that, and you seeking to understand, and you let her tell you her story, and you ask questions. You pretend like you Oprah Winfrey or you Gayle King, and you asking questions. Them questions getting deep, and she might shut down. She might storm off depending on her personality. She might start crying. She might cuss at you. Why you asking me all these questions? And if you shut it down that day, get back with her, get on the phone with her, or talk to her tomorrow, or do it again next week. Get her whole story. Just by you getting her whole story, it's going to explain 50% of what you need to know. See, a lot of times we don't seek to understand. Everybody we have a problem with, if we just seek to understand. If we seek to understand, then we don't feel as much of a need to be understood. Because when you see where they coming from, now you could kind of meet them halfway. So when you realize that your mama was abused in every sense of the word, from the age of 5, from the age of 3, when you realize that it was your uncle that did it to her, that it was your pastor that y'all went to their church when you was little that did it to her, that it was your granddaddy that did it to her. Now it started to paint a picture and you like, wow. See, I think one thing I realized is that a lot of times women just think that a woman just nasty for no reason, that she just born nasty. You know, I talk to a lot of women and they just think their mama just nasty, that she just rude and jealous and mean and, you know, condescending and backbiting just for no reason. No, she got a reason based on what she's gone through. See, you really don't know the extent of what your daddy put her through. Now look at yourself as a woman and look at what men have taken you through. Now with your mama, if your mama mean to you, if your mama bringing drama in your life, then you could take what you've gone through with men and multiply it by 10. Because how bad does a woman have to be treated by men to take it out on her own daughter? How bad does she have to be treated to take it out on her own daughter? How bad does she have to be treated by the world, by the job, by the boss, by the workplace to take it out on her own daughter? So you got to seek to understand, and then you're going to start to realize. Now, as you're seeking to understand, you having this conversation and you get this understanding. Now, the next thing what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to diagnose in your head. You don't say it to her, but you got to take and label this luggage, because she come with a lot of baggage. You got to be able to help her unpack that baggage, put it in a box and label it. So I remember, I'll give you an example. I was working at the group home and had this client, and I'll take him out. He loved to go out to the old pool hall. He ain't play no pool. He just like to go to the pool hall, sit at the bar and have an old burger. Tat the old burger up and watch the bartender. A little nasty. You sitting there watch the bartender. And then after, you know, bringing them back from there, get back to the house, say, hey, don't forget to clean up your room a little bit before bed now, and take your shower. And I say that, and he'll in the N word, and he's shooting a bird. I'm gonna put the ring finger up. I ain't gonna put the real bird finger. In. And nah, the first time he did it, I didn't really understand where I was working. So I was like, and because he's a white gentleman, I said, this man just called me the N-word. And so it was about to be some furniture moving. But then I had to seek to understand, had to realize that there was some ailments, that there was some mental health issues, that there was a lot going on in his life. So once I sought to understand, then I was able to diagnose the situation. Now I was able to contextualize everything that was being said and done, and then I could let it roll off my back. Now see, that's hard to do with your blood family. It's hard to do because you like, why in the world are you like this? Like you shouldn't be like this. But this could be your sister, it could be your mama, it could be your daddy, it could be your cousin. So this could apply to anybody, you know, if you're watching this and it ain't your mama directly. But what you got to realize is that trauma, what it takes and does, it alters the brain patterns. It altered them brain wires, for lack of a better term. Now, it's clinical, it's scientific terms for this, but when you going through this stress and this trauma, it start to change your brain, them synapses in your mind. You start to adapt. You start to become more savage. You start to become more ruthless because of that stress and trauma on the body, on the brain that you're going through. That's why you hear the term PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, because it literally, the brain is rewiring itself. It is responding, reacting. It's reacting to the stress. And so that's what you got to realize when your mom was taken advantage of, when she was abused in all these different ways, when she went through everything she went through, it started to rewire her brain, rewire her personality, her outlook on life, the way she sees people. And because she knows you, because you come from her. Now see, this is what you got to realize is you might come from her, but you may represent the most painful time in her life. You may represent the man who caused her the most pain. You may represent the man who derailed her life, who coerced her into the bed, or who forced her into the bed, or who manipulated or deceived her into the bed and then crushed her heart. You may represent the image. You might look just like her daddy, who abandoned her, or who touched her, or who did this or that to her, or like her mama, who did this or that to her. See, it's some things that's happening that you don't even realize why she mad at you. And what you don't even realize, it ain't got nothing to do with you. So literally, when you have this mama drama, you kind of got to get to that place to where it's kind of like, oh, poor baby. Oh, poor baby. Oh, poor baby. Oh, I know you sorry. Oh, I know you sorry. Oh, with her words, with her barrage of words, sometimes things get physical. And so, don't dishonor your mom, but it's some women that had to fight their mama. Now, if it's self-protection, you got a backhand her in the name of love. If it's protection, you got a backhand her in the name of love. But you got to help her up. I remember watching my two cousins, but they wore their daddy out. My two cousins, they took their daddy in the yard, beat the brakes off of him because he put hands on their mama. And there's two boys. He shouldn't have had them two boys. My two cousins drug their dad in that front yard and beat the brakes off of them. You hear me? And still stayed in the house with them. Still lived with them. Still loved them. Beat the brakes off of them in love. And so what you have to realize, when you got toxic family members, you got to learn how to deal with them. It should never get physical. If it got to go there, it got to go there. But in 90% of the cases, it ain't getting physical. It's verbal. It's verbal. And that's what caused so much damage, because see, if you slap me in my face, I'm going to sting. It's going to sting for a little bit. It might bruise, but it's going to go away. That's going to go away. I might forget that in 2-3 weeks. I won't be able to remember the pain. I got hit in the jaw one time, kind of bit my jaw, but I can't remember the pain. Now the verbal it's a difference. But see, with this verbal, it may not be physical pain, but if you replay those words, you may replay those words for years. Those words may stick with you for a lifetime. So that verbal can hurt worse emotionally than any physical altercation can. And a lot of time, 90% of the time, it's the verbal attacks. And see, what you have to get to the place to as well is you got to get to the place to where you seek to understand. So now you understand what's going on. Now you can assess the situation. Now you can address the situation. Now you can diagnose the situation. So now, in a time of war later, Now you got specific talking points. Mama, listen. Mama, listen. Listen to me. And if you can't talk to her on the phone, you can't do a voice memo. Do a voice memo on the text message. Do a voice memo so she can live with that audio. She can live. That's how you got to start reaching people. You got to go. Don't just get on the phone, because you get on the phone, she may hang up the phone. She may put the phone down. You think she listens, she ain't listen. Do a voice memo. Do a handwritten letter that she could read over and over and over. See, when people have gone through a lot of stress and trauma, a lot of times when it comes to fight or flight, they'll take flight. If it get too hot in the kitchen, it get too real, and they about to get confronted by their mess, they'll take flight. But see, when you do that voice memo or you do that handwritten letter, they can't take flight. Eventually, curiosity that killed the cat gonna have them sitting there listening to that. She gonna break down, boo-hoo crying. And the words might say to her, Mom, I know that you were taken advantage of and you were mistreated and abused from the age of 3. But I want you to know that I love you with all my heart and I come from you. I never do anything to intentionally hurt you. So I'm asking that you please stop unintentionally hurting me, because I did not do that to you. I come from you. I'm supposed to be the better half of you, not your verbal or physical punching bag. Please don't take it out on me. When she hear that and she got to sit with that, it's going to do some reckoning in her spirit. Listen to me. Send it and pray over. Send it and pray over. That it penetrate her heart, her spirit, her mind. Send it to her. And let her sit with it. And see, and then you got to get to the place. Now, I'm going to tell you, it hurt now. It hurts. When your mama say something crazy, when your mama, out of line, it hurt. It make you mad. It upset you. My mom told me something the other day. Mom told me something today that was asinine. And I need to look up that word. It just sounded good right there. It just, I'm assuming that means ridiculous. And so mama told me something the other day. And I had to read her. In a polite way, in a text message. I said, listen here. That's not my duty. That's not my calling in life. All right? That's your people. That's your people. If you want to be there and stress yourself and bend over backwards for this particular person, you go right ahead. That's your blood. That's your people, not mine. So I'm not finna be feeling sorry for somebody that don't feel sorry for themselves and they made choices to put them in the situation that they in. I'm not about to lose my peace to accommodate somebody who disrupt and disturb other people's peace, and now that the person uncomfortable want to make their problem my emergency. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm not available. So I had to let my mama know that. And so it's still stuff that she could say. It's always going to be stuff your mama could say that could trigger you. But when you trigger, you got to address it. So you can't internalize it and take it in. You got to, catch it, throw it right back. You see what I'm saying? See, a lot of times you catching it and you bathing in it. You washing your face in it. You got a circle of emotions in it. You eating it. You drinking it. You inhaling it. And you internalizing it, and you getting it in you. And then you sitting with it. You laying on your pillow like this. Your eyes wide. And you just laying there looking at the ceiling. And it's like, no, you can't be doing that. You need to throw it right back with the words that it need to go with. Don't curse. Don't yell. If it need to be a text, if it need to be a voice memo, there you go. So that when you get to that pillow, you snoring up. You hear me? You snoring up because you finna sleep peacefully. Because you're not going to allow her to disrupt and disturb your peace. Because you now understand where she's operating from. See, the hard part is when you can't understand where she's operating from. And that's why you got to go get her story. You get every bit of her story that you could get from her. I ain't never asked my mom her story just because, frankly, I don't want to hear. I don't. It might be too much truth and too much detail. I know how my mom is. It might be too much detail. It might turn my stomach. Because, see, I'm a boy. And so being a man, and I mean boy, I mean male, you really don't want to hear all that about your mama. Nah, women, y'all go through the same stuff in life, so you could probably stomach it better. But I really don't want to hear what all kind of peach cobbler and microphones that went on in my mama life. And I've already heard more than I care to know, just from her being a transparent person. But so I don't ask any questions. I do not ask any questions. I'm just going to assume that there was a lot of tomfoolery going on in her life. And she just the way she is. And she's not that bad. My mom, she's not bad. She's very loving and caring. And so, but she is outspoken. She gonna speak her mind. Sometimes she speak her mind without thinking. And sometimes she speak her mind misinformed, ill-advised. And I have to realize that's just her. That's just her. Don't take it to heart. That's just her. Go on, correct it if she need to be corrected. And go on about your business. And so, but see, what I've been hearing from a lot of women is that some mamas really can go there. Really can be all the way nasty. Really could be super, super savage, ghetto, just slum dog, and in that case, that's a different situation that you got to learn how to deal with. But the key is that you seek to understand and that you refuse to internalize her pain. You can't let her pain become your pain. You got to get right back to her, not pain, but you got to get that truth to her. Because see, that truth is a pain pill. That truth is a serum. It's the cure. It's the vaccination. That truth. When you hit her with that truth vaccine, okay, she got to sit with it. It's gonna make her sick. See, when you get the vaccination, it can make you a little sick because it's putting the virus in you. So when you hit her with that truth, you slapping her in the face, metaphorically speaking, with words of truth that reminds her, and now she got to look at this and say, wow. And it's gonna hurt her because she's gonna process all of her pain. She's gonna process her pain. Now, if she got all her functionalities, now if she is now special needs, that's a different situation. So, but even in that, you got to understand, you can't get offended by a special needs person, because there's a lot of mothers raising kids with special needs. You can't get offended by a special needs person. So if your mama is now special needs, from drug use, from whatever is that, all that she's gone through, and it just done changed her mind so much to where she's really been kind of turned over to a reprobate mind. In that case, you got to understand that it's going to hurt. But see, when you give her that truth, you hand her that truth, now she got to sit with that. And what she's going to do is she's going to picture everything she's gone through. It's going to send her into tears. See, it might not be in front of you now. If you tell her in person, she might not cry in front of you. She might cuss you out and storm off. But when that head hit that pillow, she got to walk herself through that pain. Then she's going to see how that pain affected her. Each event, each traumatic event, she's going to see how it affected her. She's going to see how she internalized it. Then she's going to replay in her mind every time she took that out on you. See, it's things she took out on you that you don't even know about because it was under the age of 2. If she nasty now and you are an adult, If some things happen before the age of 5, you got slapped in your mouth when you was 1.5 years old. When you was 6 months, she put a sock in your mouth till you turned purple. You don't know about it. She knows about it. So she got to look through that. She got to look through that. She's going to be in tears. She's going to be bawling. And every time you got to hit her with that. She might not repent. She might not change. You got to hit her with it again when she come at you sideways. You got to hit her with it again. One time it's going to be the one that breaks the levees. Okay? And this flood of reality, this flood of truth going to come into her life, and it's going to wash her. It ain't going to drown. It's going to wash her. It's going to wash her, and she's going to come out on the other side brand new. And you got to see that as your job to help renew and fix and work on your mama while she going through these situations. Now, this other type of mama drama, and this for men. See, if you a man, listen to this. If your husband or your boyfriend or fiance need to listen to this, just tell them fast forward to minute 26. Now, if you a man and you dealing with your mama, you got to understand that in the world, because men are physically stronger, many women have had to learn how to get by using their mind. So many women who were taken advantage of or mistreated or used and abused, instead of trying to fight back physically, they started to fight back mentally, emotionally, psychologically. So it becomes psychological warfare. And see, many women who have been mistreated and done wrong in their life get to a place to where they adopt a scarcity mindset. And so your mom may have lost her husband or never got married or lost every man she was with. She was on the other end of their hand doing situations to her, and it began to break her. So when she had you as a son, she decided that you would be her king, that you would be her man, that you would be her caretaker. See, a lot of women are innately looking for their caretaker, looking for their covering, looking for their protector. See, most women, not all, because it's gonna be some women that swear on everything they love that they could not care less about having a man. That they are so happy single, they don't desire a man, they don't never want a man, don't never need a man, ain't looking for no husband, don't want no husband, been independent since they came out the womb and gonna be independent going in the grave. It's gonna be women that swear that. So I'm gonna say not all women, some women are unconsciously or subconsciously looking for their protector, their provider. So if your mama doesn't have a real man in her life, then she's going to want you as a son to be that man. She don't want to sleep with you, but she will perplex you. She will vex your spirit. She will give you an Oedipus complex. Now, Oedipus complex, that might be spelled O-E. I can't remember how it's spelled, O-E-D. Now, she will give you an Oedipus complex in a sense to where you love your mama and you desire your mama. You might not desire her sexually, but you desire her love, her affection, her appreciation, her affirmation. You desire that. And so you will spit in your woman's face to please your mama. Your mama will telepathically tell you, spit in her face. Your mama won't even open her mouth. She'll just look at you. And then here you go. That's what you're doing. You spitting in your woman's face every chance you get for your mama. Your mama tell you what to do. Your mama tell you what not to do. Your mama tell you secrets about your woman that you sleeping with, your woman that you live with, that you with every day. Your mama telling you secrets about her. Your mama don't bit more know your woman than the man on the moon. But you listen to your mama, who is broken and bitter with your daddy and every other man that did her wrong. So she cannot stand to see your wife be treated like a queen when she done been treated like a peasant by men. And as a man, you got to understand that. You got to understand that right there as a man. And I see it all the time. I see it with my family members. Get jealous of how I treat my wife. Excuse me? Okay. All right. Did I sense jealousy? Okay, well, you finna see me get her everything then. Okay, this here, this Louis Vuitton. Okay, this Hermes. Okay, this Gucci. Okay, this here. All right, now you finna see her get everything. All right, this here picture cube. Okay, all right. This face mask. Okay, this hat. Now you jealous. This gold stapler. Now you finna watch her shine. If I sense any jealousy, you turning your nose up, you hating on how much I'm spending on my wife. Oh, you just got a free ticket to the Shine Hall, to the Stunt Fest. I'm finna have my wife stunting on you so hard. You hear me? With a Gucci hand sanitizer. I'm finna have her stunting on you so hard. But see, some men, and you got to make sure you ain't guilty of this as a man. You can't be out here trying to please your mama when you got a woman. Okay, your mama got to get it how she live. Your mama got to get it how she live. If you got excess and you could help your mama, if she able-bodied and able-minded, she got to get it how she live. She got to go and find a way. Your mama can't be taking food off your table if she able-bodied and able-minded. Now, what you need to do, if you worrying about having to take care of your mama, get long-term care insurance right now, today. Go apply for long-term care insurance. And what that's going to do, when your mama get of age, that insurance is going to cover the cost of her in-home nurse, her in-home homemaid, or the nursing home. You probably don't want a nursing home, so it'll cover the cost. You got to make sure that you get the insurance that will cover the cost of her in-home nursing aid. You put all the nanny cams up, so you watching it from your phone 24/7, and the nurse is coming over there, insurance covering the cost. Go ahead and do that right now, my boy, if that's what you worried about with your mama. But while your mama able-bodied and able-minded, she got to get it how she live. You got to take care of home, and then when you got extra, see, my mom, she wasn't in no lap of luxury now. She wasn't in no lap of luxury. I remember my mama had a car, and it got repossessed, I think. And she was driving a car, a little beat down car. It was beat down from a man she knew. That car was beat down. It was two-tone, two different colors, and raggedy. Run hot, it was raggedy. And boy, somebody I know, somebody I grew up with, saw my mom in that car. And my sister tried to make me feel bad about it. Oh, you got your mama riding like that, and your wife got this. I say sure is, because that is not my responsibility. I got a household to take care of. My daddy married her. That was his responsibility until death do apart. He divorced her. I ain't divorced her. I got a house to take care of. I got to take care of my family first. Okay, my mama, she know God. She could walk, she could talk, she could look, she could think. It's a lot of job. McDonald's stay hiring. You hear me? So I couldn't feel bad about that. Now I was able to save some money to get in a position. Got a brand new car. Got a brand new 2020. Before I got out of that 2020, in 2017, I got a 2015 Camry. 2 years old, to get out of that two-tone car. That's all I could afford. My situation wasn't the best. High interest rate. But I did it when I could do it. And that's what you got to understand as a man. You can't let your mama run your life when you a grown man, especially if you got you a woman. If you got you a woman, that woman, because see, when you marry her, now y'all one. Your wife come first until your mom cannot do for herself. Now see, when your mama can't do for herself, just like when your wife mama can't do for herself, now the mamas come first. Now you gotta make sure they good. Whether you're gonna put them in a home or whether you're gonna have a nurse in their home, now she becomes a priority. But when she healthy and able, she got to get how she live. And it got to be, okay, this the door. All right, this the door, mama. This where your opinions got to stop. This where your opinions stop on my life. All right, we over here, we over here in the house. All right, this where your opinions stop at, right here. All right, mama, and I'm not asking you. I didn't ask you for your opinion, mom. I love you, but I'm a grown man. I got this. I got this over here. Mama, what I told you. I love you. I really don't. It does not concern me what you think is too expensive for me to be getting for my wife. Okay, because I work for this money. Okay, whatever you earn, do whatever you want to do with it, because you get one life to live. So if I want to spend this right here on my wife, if I want to spend this right here on my kids, that's what I'm going to do, mama. All right, thank you. God bless you. All right, talk to you later. You see what I'm saying? But it's so many men that get in that trance, that vex on your spirit. And it's because your mama pick up a spirit of entanglement, and then she want to get entangled with somebody but can't really get what she need to get, so she get entangled with you. Entangle your spirit, and that spirit, she wants you to be able to work and slave for her, do for her, retire her. It's like, no, mom, grocery store is hiring, bagging groceries. All right, good for your feet. Get your blood flowing so you can live a little longer. They say people die earlier when you retire too soon and you sitting on the couch all day, not getting them endorphins releasing. So if you got to bag groceries. If you got to flip burgers. If you got to work for Shipt or Instacart or Grubhub, hey, let's get to it. Let's get to it. You still young, got health in your body. It ain't about, this is what you got to realize. It ain't about not loving. It ain't about not loving your mama. You love your mama, but love is accountability. That's what people get wrong about love. Love, see, the Bible say God chastiseth those he loves. Look at the word chastise. Love is about accountability. Love ain't about enabling somebody. Love ain't about pampering. And love ain't about, just catering. Unless it's your wife. Love ain't about, and even with your wife, it's still about accountability. You don't just let your wife run rampant. and just do whatever, because she's somebody mama. Hey, listen, you somebody mama. If y'all have a kid, she somebody mama. Hey, you somebody mama. Look, listen to me. Put your booty cheeks in your shorts. Don't go out the house like that. Your son's spirit vexed because he see your booty cheek. He know what a private area is, and your booty cheeks hanging out your shorts. What you think that's doing to that boy's spirit? You giving that boy Oedipus complex. You see what I mean? You hold your wife accountable. You hold your wife accountable. If my wife put on a little nighttime outfit and it look too good, hey, listen here. Come on up out of there. My son getting too old. I don't want him looking at thighs like that, because even though you're a mama, I don't want him to see your thighs like that. He don't need to see that much thigh. You see what I'm saying? I done had to tell my wife that 1 or 2 times. Because that's one thing about it. Because you think, this family. No, I'm a man. And I was a boy. I remember I was a boy. I remember my blood cousin, first cousin, was in the room with a thong on. That thing vexed my spirit. I was slobbing all out the mouth. This my blood cousin with all them hymns in that thong. She was standing up ironing clothes in a thong. I probably was 8, 9, 10. That thing vexed my spirit. I was sitting on. I had the slog coming out my mouth. So, love is accountability. Just like you want to hold your wife accountable for not overspending and, having some kind of budget, not dressing all crazy or provocative for no reason. We ain't not at the beach. So why you got on beach clothes at the grocery store? That don't make no sense. Say that for the sunshine at the water. Why you got that on in the grocery store? You got all these little kids looking at the dark meat of your booty. And so just like you hold your wife accountable, hold your mama accountable. Hold your mama accountable, because see, listen. When Eve got into that trouble, she got a lifetime sentence. Go to Genesis and read that lifetime sentence the Lord put on Eve. I was like, wow, Lord. I said, wow, you want to give a probation for a year in the Garden of Eden? I'm like, Lord, that's the first offense now. You ain't want to give a probation? Lord say, you and every woman after you finna go through pain. I say, wow. And your son, your children gonna go through pain. I think that's what it said, like that the snake gonna be striking at the heel of your kid, and the heel of the kid striking at the head of the snake. It went into all kind of stuff in Genesis. Go read it. And a lot of people think it's metaphorical. Take it how you want to take it. But the issue is that a lot got put on that woman. A lot got put on the woman. So that's why you see women struggle in a different way than men. Men and women struggle different. Now, men got put, when we were turned over to sin, men had to go through it too. You see what happened with their kids. Adam and Eve. You see what the example we got from their kid. One brother killed the other brother. It's like, wow. So it's like, now that explains Chicago. When the first 2 kids, the first 2 brothers, one killed the other one over an offering to God. Oh, you want to take God a good offering? Ugh. See, a lot of times we don't think about what we're going through in this world. We don't realize that in the sacred text, it's already showing you the nature. It's already showing you what human done got into. It already laid it plain. So now you look at this gang versus that gang in Chicago, it make a little more sense when you realize it was brother killing brother. In human nature and from the beginning of human existence. That's the example that we are shown. That you're going to have to be renewed by God. So guess what? You got to be able to renew your spirit And by you renewing your spirit, you're going to have a righteous indignation, and your words will be piercing. See, in New Testament, it talk about Jesus and say Jesus come to bring a sword. It's a sword. It's a sword. Forgive me. My son be giving me. He said, Daddy, it's not sword. Just because it got a W in it, the W is silent. Y'all forgive me. I be saying sword. I've been saying sword ever since when I saw that. You can't even put no W in there and then tell me it's sword. That don't even make no sense. The Bible says Jesus come to bring a sword that it's going to separate chief friends. It's going to separate family members, because that truth is going to divide. The truth will rightfully divide. So guess what? When you get that truth in you and you share that truth with your mama or your daddy or whoever you need to apply this to, it's going to rightfully divide. It's going to check them. It's going to stop them in their track. It's going to hold them accountable. And each little thing, everything that my mama say to me that don't sit right with my spirit, that's against what the will of God got for my life, that what the God done put on my heart, I got to let her know, hey, I'm grown now. Hey, I'm grown. I love you. I love you. Okay. All right. Let me see what you talking about. Let me see it work in your life. Okay. Because what the Lord doing over here, it's going good. All right. So let me see what the Lord going to exemplify through your life before you throwing out unsolicited advice and instruction. All right. Because I'm twice the age of 18 now. So thank you. All right, I appreciate it. Some stuff you take it, but you got to chew the meat, spit the bone. There's so many men letting their mama run their life. Grown men can't even live because their mama still telling them what to do. Can't even build with your wife. Can't even do your kids right because your mama telling you how to raise your kids from her brokenness or her ignorance. What did your mama come from? You got to look at what she come from. You got to look at what her family struggled at. You got to look at her lineage. Oh, you know what I used to do? The you and Keisha, and y'all got smart out the mouth. I used to grab some pliers, and I used to come over there and grab that tongue, and I'll pull on that tongue. And I'll pull that tongue, hold it tight with them pliers. I don't squeeze it too tight, but a little bit of blood come, and I'll just pour hot sauce on there. And y'all will just be, you don't remember because you was 1.5. And you like, oh, that what you used to do? Oh, I turned out fine. Oh, I'm making good money. Hey, baby, what he said? Give me them pliers. Come here. Tell what my mama used to do to me. Come here, boy. Huh? Nah, your woman over there, boo crying. She going crazy because you done brought your mama war zone tactics because she was raised with savages. You done brought her war zone tactics to your peaceful suburban household. Brokenness begat brokenness. Generational curses. Generational lies. Oh, this is what we used to do for y'all. When it was time for Christmas, we went right to the dollar store. And y'all was just a happy. Kid don't know the difference. So you trying to convince your wife to go do Christmas shopping at the dollar store. Man, come on now. Get out of here with that. Yeah, come on now. You see what I'm saying? This why you got to cut the Momma Drama. And the same thing can apply to some dads. The reason why I'm dressing like this because what I hear the most, I've heard women. Now I've heard a handful of women come and say, my dad does this, my dad does that. But I could count like 5 out of the thousands and thousands and thousands. So I'm just telling you, although your specific life, you may see it differently, just invert this, because everything I spoke for the woman, it could work for a dad too. It could work for the man too, if he the issue. But the reason why I'm doing it because I address the majority, not the exceptions to the rule. And so I have had about 2 or 3 women out of the thousands, tens of thousands of messages I've received. About 2 or 3 women have come and complained about their dad being condescending or being rude or always having something to say about everything she doing. All the rest that's talking about parental relations, it's been about their mama. And so that's why I'm addressing it like this. And when women come complaining about their man's family, they're complaining about their man mama. 9.99% of the time, 99.99% of the time, they complain about his mama. I cannot, as I'm sitting here trying to think, I cannot remember a woman coming to complain about her husband or her boyfriend daddy ruining their relationship. I can't do that. Now, I do hear about his dad wasn't there. His dad was a player. And so I feel like that's why he's a player. And that could be true. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a direct influence, verbally interjecting, interrupting progress with your presence and your mouth. And so that's why we're addressing this. And I feel like a lot of times, I do so many videos that is preparing women for the games of men that it becomes hard for women to accept when something is sitting on the female side of the line versus the male side. So it's like when something need to be addressed to the woman, addressing women things is too much. When every other video, I'm talking about all the negative things men doing wrong and preparing you for the things men doing wrong. But then when I got some insight for you on what you need to address in yourself, when you become a mama, see what you dealing with your mama, you got to make sure you don't be that to your kids. You see what I'm saying? Got to make sure, and that's why I talk to my wife. I talk to her now because my son growing. Hey, listen, hey baby, don't open that ketchup packet. Show him how to open the ketchup packet, and then let him open the ketchup packet. Because what you gonna do? The boy gonna be 25, calling here asking you can come do something. Son, absolutely not. Absolutely not. We getting ready to catch a plane. All right. So you hang your own curtains. You see what I mean? Like you gonna have the boy depending on you. Hey, mom, what you think I ought to do about this right here? Hey, mom, what you think I ought to do about? Hey, listen here, son. Listen here. Make your decision, boy. Make your decision. All right. That's your wife. That's your wife. Don't. Your mama love you in a different way. Your mama don't love her. So do you love her? All right, if you love her, then you need to make a decision for you and her. Because what your mama got to say, it might not be in y'all best interest. Because she just care for you. She don't care about that stinky booty girl you dealing with. You see what I'm saying? So I understand that. So when it come that time, I'm going to have that conversation with my wife and with my son. I already had it with him when we playing soccer, cause she like to tell him what to do, and he be looking over there to the sideline, and I done had to talk to both of them and say, listen here, you do this, the boy gonna get so used to hearing your voice, he ain't gonna know what to do when you not at a game. What about when we get to the level to where you in the stands and he on the field and he can't hear you cause the stadium that big? It ain't gonna always be this little kid soccer where we sitting right down the sideline. He can hear everything you say. So you got to let the boy make a decision and let him fail. You got to let him fail. Let him make the mistake so he can learn from the mistake. You can't be the eyes in the back of his head. He got to have his own eyes in the back of his head. And if his coach want to be the eyes in the back of his head, let the coach be the eyes in the back of his head. But you need to sit over here and watch the game. Cheer when something go wrong. And keep it quiet when something go bad, and watch the game and let them learn. You see what I'm saying? So me as a man, I understand. I see clearly. I see it clearly. I'm not gonna be blinded by that. And so I understand that. When my son game, I don't say a word, because you don't coach in the game. You coach in practice. You coach in practice as parents. I want him to fail because that's how he gonna learn. If I tell him everything to do, he ain't gonna learn. So I had to express that, and I had to tell my wife that over and over and over and over and over, because that's her personality. And mothering is to mother, to be there, to hover, to be there, to do everything, to make sure everything done. And that's how she was raised. That's how she was raised. And that's what moms do. And I got to talk to my wife after this. About, family situation. Just reminded me. But that's what you got to do in your life is you got to hold the people in your life, your family, you got to hold them accountable. That's what love is. Love ain't letting everybody do what they want to do, getting ran over, all that right there. No, love is accountability. Hey, this Tony Gaskin. God bless you. Hey, woo. All right. If that ain't sit well with you, listen to it again. Listen to it again. Understand everything I do comes from a good place. And I know a lot of y'all gonna say, well, well, Tony, can you address the men? Can you address the daddy drama that's ruining relationships? Unfortunately, right now, no, I can't because I just don't have enough data on it. I don't receive enough messages, but I done received thousands of messages in this area, so that's why I'm addressing this. So understand, everything ain't gonna go both ways. It can in your life, but on the grand scheme of things, everything ain't going both ways. Some things men need to stop doing. Some things it's just men need to stop doing. It don't go both ways. Some things women need to stop doing. It don't go both ways. Not everything go both ways to the same level, to the same degree. Now, yeah, it's gonna be certain areas, little exceptions, little places here and there to where it need to go both ways, but you just can't use a broad stroke across both genders, all races, all nationality, all age groups. Everything ain't gonna go both ways. So what's for you, let it be for you. If it ain't for you, then let it go. All right, because all I'm doing here is answering questions that I get. A lot of times people say, well, Tony, why are you talking about, because somebody asked me. Thank you. Hey, God bless you. We'll talk soon.